You can check on it to make sure.
The Jewish period in the 1st century between betrothal and engagement was 1 year. And that just seems really unlikely that somebody was actually secluded for a year. And at that point, I really struggled. I got lost in like this wormhole of like discussion on how betrothal worked. But it turns out there's an entire school of thought that holds that betrothal was actually a wedding, and it was very confusing. Apparently, there's an entire theory that at the point of becoming betrothed, you were actually married, and then there was just another ceremony for the fun of it. I can tell you that these days it's less than that, and in the average Jewish ceremony today, in some parts of the world, the betrothal and the wedding happen at the same time. Apparently, in like the diaspora, it ran into problems with like communities around the place of trying to seclude people and have a year between things, and so people shifted to just taking somebody to the man's house and going, here she is, go. Which seemed weird. Alrighty, we are picking up from wherever we got to. I think we got to a loud cry. Yes. We're going to do quick and stop.
Oh, so good. I love quick and stop. So like.
A petrol station.
Quite possibly.
Wait, it is.
Alrighty, so picking up from Blessed Are You Among Women, verse 42. And we're going to try and push through a fair bit today.
Oh yes, we talked about that.
That's the hope. So we have covered blessed or most blessed. If we look at the evidence from Judith and Judges, the odds are this is a blessed are you among women as opposed to most blessed. Although there is tension in that. It is worth cross-referencing it with chapter 11, verses 27 to 28, which, if I am correct, should be Jesus saying he doesn't have a mother.
Sorry, 11, 27. Would that be?
27 to 28. At some point, I'm going to do a copy of this gospel that has the chapter at the top of every of the pages.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 11.
No, sorry, I am wrong. It is a different one. 27 to 28, while he was saying this, a woman in the crowd raised her voice and said to him, blessed is the womb that bore you and the breast that nursed you. But he said, blessed rather are those who hear the word of God and obey it. And it calls into question exactly whether Mary could be the most blessed person in the world if Jesus thinks that people who obey his commands are more blessed than the person who bore him. There's internal evidence in the text that suggests most blessed is probably not accurate.
Right.
And now I'm pausing. It's a quick pause.
Wait. That was a lot. More and it didn't process.
Yeah. I feel like that was a medium fasting pause.
Okay.
I love you.
That's nice.
No more words for you.
Quick is the fastest.
That's why I don't know what you said.
Which one?
No more words.
I'm a bit disrespectful to say. I don't know. 5. I have 2 options. Yeah, that's not. He doesn't have to. He does. He has a helmet.
Have you shaved it in one part? Another concept you drew back.
In one concept.
Yeah. Just like
Is it CF?
Yes.
Unique hand voice and possessing the 5 of his local religion name.
Yeah.
To perform his trademark turkey call.
Yes.
I just wrote it using it.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What's that?
5.
And then also.
I'm sure that includes everything.
Yeah.
Chest voice.
So I've categorized the quickness of it. I'm assuming you're not going to go slow, so I'll
And judges 15.
524.
Huh?
524.
520. Oh, sorry.
Medium slow, medium,
That was the
medium,
that was the
quick,
worst one.
quicker, and quickest.
Yeah.
Are we good to keep moving?
Oh, fantastic. We're okay.
We're okay? Nice. Alrighty. Book notes that this is a beatitude. In fact, everyone notes this is a beatitude. A beatitude.
242.
It's a beatitude because anything that starts with blessed is, or blessed are, or blessed will be, is a beatitude. A beatitude is literally just a blessing. So it's beatitude.
No other words could be a beatitude.
Kind of has to start with blessed are someone. Or some group. Bok. So basically everyone notes that it is a beatitude because it's a beatitude. Bok's note is that the standard blessing of this sort is a wish for the future. So usually when you say blessed, like you will be blessed or something like that, you're talking about a hope for what will happen to them in the future. And that this is, Bok notes this is an oddity among Beatitudes in that it is noting a present blessing in exactly the same way that the Beatitudes later do. They don't comment on blessed will you be, or hopefully you will be. They comment on the fact that you are experiencing a present blessing at the moment. It is, and it ties more broadly into the idea that in this entire passage we're looking, or through this entire section, we're looking at the arrival of the Messiah on the basis of the expected Messiah. So Jewish culture has been looking forward to the day of the Lord, to the coming of the Messiah, to the great harvest, to all these sorts of things. And one of the things Luke appears to be doing through this passage is bringing that into a present reality. So it's taking things that were expectations and actually rephrasing them into a present situation. This is me pausing. It is taking a lot of work.
You've been birthed.
Are you saying the child is worth 21?
Are we referring to 20 million?
Oh.
Well, like, well, in concept, because cash is very.
Why are we talking about cash?
It's a Bitcoin.
They're the Russian guy.
What Russian guy?
Do you know
I do actually.
Wow.
Alrighty, so, bless you among women. Usually a wish, here a present reality, comment on the transition from expected things to present things. It has relevance to discussion later in the Gospel on the idea of when exactly Jesus becomes or is divine. The idea of, more specifically the next bit, the blessed is the fruit of your womb, and the idea of the mother of my Lord, suggests that Luke is creating a sense of Jesus being the Messiah-y person from the time of being in utero. Makes very little sense at the moment. It'll make more sense when we kick into the dove landing on his head while he gets baptized and coming back from the dead. Just flagging it at the moment. Blessed is the fruit of your womb. Fruit of your womb is an interesting sort of a phrase. The fruit. Exactly, it's fruity. According to Deuteronomy 7 verse 13, and a bunch of places in chapter 28 of the same book. Deuteronomy 7:13.
And 28.
And 28 specifically verses 1 and 4, but it kind of riffs on the idea a bit. Having a fruitful womb is considered to be a blessing due to your obedience.